I just want to say one thing. You're not alone. You feel like you're alone, but you're really not alone. You feel me? I know you're feeling all alone. Nobody understands. So you're only optimistic.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Two Beers with the Band. I'm your host, and you were just listening to the song Outsiders by my man Prtysunknxwn, who is a singer, songwriter, producer, and engineer. All right, Prtysunknxwn, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're sipping on.
Hi, my name is Parties Unknown, but my real name is Tony. Right now, I am drinking a monster infused alcohol beverage called Beast, and it's scary berry. But I'm from Indiana. I'm a indie musician. I'm, independent in everything. I do everything on my own, and I'm trying to do my best and trying to get somewhere in life with it because I enjoy music and I've been singing since as far as I can remember, really.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am drinking, and it's not going to show up very well, of course, a vanilla pumpkin ale from Schlafly Brewing. This is a 8% ABV and just taking the top off. Man, this thing is straight pumpkin.
That one you could really taste the alcohol in it. Woo, phew, shit.
I bet you can. Man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go out and grab one of those at some point and give it a try. It's October, so I mean,
Oh yeah.
Scary Berry, you gotta give
Hmm.
it.
It's the
Tell you
season,
what,
all right.
I might sip on one of those while I'm out trick or treating with the youngins from the neighborhood.
They're really
All right,
good. I highly recommend them. I highly recommend them for anybody. Like, I just recently found out about them, and I was just like, honestly, like this is really good. I actually enjoy them, and plus, like, it gives you a nice little buzz. Like, you got to drink a lot of them, but they're a really good beverage. Have a good kick
well,
to them.
what about the caffeine aspect with the alcohol? Does it? I
Um,
mean, well, how's
I think it's just like so it's 6% alcohol, 12 fluid ounces, and it don't say anything on the can about it being infused with caffeine at all. I don't think it might. I don't see anything that it says like percentages of caffeine. It just says like percentage of alcohol. It might be just the alcohol with a little bit of the monster flavoring and stuff, like a malt beverage.
okay? Okay, so it's not going to be your typical just high
Monster.
energy monster, and then they dump some alcohol in it.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think it's just alcohol, I believe, with the monster flavoring.
okay. Well, I'm definitely going to have to try one of those then,
Cause
because
like
I.
they usually come in like a 12 pack and stuff, and I think I bought it for like $20. It's like a white label one. The I think there was one that I tried and it's like my favorite, and it's called Mean Green, and it's the green regular monster flavor, and it's like my favorite one out of all of them.
All right. Well, I'm definitely going to have to check that out. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I'm not sponsored by Monster.
I've avoided any of the caffeinated drinks like that, like the hard Mountain Dew and stuff like that, because I
Mm.
thought it was, you know, the Mountain Dew, and they added alcohol to it, so you're getting alcohol and the caffeine. And
That's what I thought when I very first bought these. I was like, like when it comes to like a lot of caffeine, I can't have a lot of caffeine because like it gets to me. I get jittery and stuff like that. I don't really drink a lot of pop too. I mostly drink like tea, lemonade, water, sparkling water, healthy stuff.
yeah, yeah, okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna take a sip of this vanilla pumpkin, but
That actually does
let's.
sound
Wow,
good.
you know what? Let me. let me take a sip and let you know what I think. Cheers.
Cheers on that, brother. I feel like it tastes like autumn, like the whole season.
Well, it's a little sweet. It's a little sweeter than I like, but it has been sitting out for about 20 minutes or so, give or take. So it's not warm, but it's warmer than straight out of the fridge. And that tends to make the sweetness amplified a little bit. As far as the vanilla goes, I do get a very light vanilla bean on the front,
Mhm.
but I do get more of a it has a decent pumpkin flavor, but it has
Is it
a very
yeast base?
upfront.
Is it like a yeast base?
Yes,
It is yeast base. I bet it's pretty
yes,
smooth though. I bet it's really smooth.
it really is. But it has a coriander or an allspice real kick to it.
I
So,
think I'm gonna try to find some of that. Right? Because like me, I mostly drink beer and stuff like that.
all right. Well, if you can, it's Schlafly's vanilla pumpkin ale.
Okay.
It's all right. It's all right. I've had better, but I've had much worse.
Right.
And everything here in Nashville, we can't really get a lot from Schlafly, but everything we can get that I've had has been good. So, and out of everything I've had, honestly, this is the worst one. But me saying that it's pretty good, if it's your worst beer, you're doing all right as far as I'm concerned.
Right, right.
All right. Well, why don't you tell everybody what style of music you create?
It kind of just depends on like how I'm feeling at the moment. Like if I'm, I kind of like go by emotions, but I kind of just go by the feel, kind of like if I'm in the mood to make like a hip hop track, I'll make some like rap or melodic, or like if I'm feeling like sad and depressed, I'll turn over for some like melodic alternative R&B. Like a lot of people compare me to The Weeknd. I hear that compliment a lot. They're like, some people they'd be like, "Yo, we listen to like a sad song from The Weeknd? Like this dude really does sound like The Weeknd." And I'm like, I'm not The Weeknd, but I appreciate the compliment and stuff like that. And I just don't want to get like, compared, like, I guess, because like I am my own artist and I don't want people trying to find me by trying to find like a song by The Weekend or something like that. But I've had a couple of compliments of like me sounding like The Weekend. Somebody said that I really do good on Juice World vibes and stuff like that. Because like I'm not gonna lie, they are my idols, and I have got inspired by them and stuff like that. But like it all just depends on how I'm feeling, when I'm recording and stuff like that, and like what I'm in the mood for, what I'm in the mood for the listener to hear.
Well, if people compare you to The Weekend, when people, I guess, that you've never met or maybe they talk to you after a show or something like that and they compare you to The Weekend, do you just kind of take it in stride and roll on, or do you?
It don't hurt my feelings. I don't have any emotion for it and stuff like that. I kind of just roll with it honestly because like at the end of the day, it's just music, Like if I get compared by somebody, I think it's cool. Like I honestly think it's really cool. Like a lot of people have mixed opinions and stuff. Like mostly what I have heard is The Weeknd or Michael Jackson here and there, but like mostly The Weeknd. And it don't affect me at all or anything. Like if people want to compare me to them, that's honestly at the end of the day, that's their opinion and stuff like that, and I just accept it.
Okay. What got you into music?
Hmm. I was really young. I kind of thank my father in a way, because like if it wasn't for my dad and my grandmother that raised me, um, I wouldn't really know a lot of music like how I am now. But what really got me started is like I was maybe like 5 or 6, and I started listening to like Michael Jackson, the Jackson Five, like Motown, some oldies that my grandma showed me, and that's what really genuinely got me into music and wanted to do like R&B and pop and stuff like that. And it all originated from my parents and my grandparents showing me Motown.
How did you come up with the name Parties Unknown?
So Parties Unknown, it's not really, I wouldn't say complicated and stuff like that. I didn't want to be known. Like I wanted people to know me by my music. I didn't want people to know me by person. Cause like I'm not really, I mean, I'm just a regular guy and stuff like that. So the parties, the parties part was like kind of like telling the viewer and stuff like that, like, is it a group? Is it a band? Or is it a solo? And I never really showed my face in the beginning of my music career and stuff like that. So that's why I came up with the name Parties Unknown, because nobody knows me and nobody knows if it's a band or just a single person behind the music.
Interesting. So, is it a band behind the music or is it just you?
No, it's just me. It's just me.
Okay. All right. How long have you been doing music at this level? Or
Um,
just how long have you been doing music, period?
um, Probably around like I didn't really start actually like recording and actually making like songs until like 2018, and I was like 15 at the time. And I really got into like wanting to record and stuff like that, and then I found out the app BandLab, and I found out about BandLab and stuff around like 2019. I was like, oh, I can actually make songs and I could use people's beats and stuff, and like a little recording studio in your pocket. And I had like a little cheapy phone, and I came out with like my first EP of July of 2019 and stuff like that. But I went by another name then, and then I just recently changed my stage name in 2020.
Okay. So, you would say you went into music full time in 2019.
Yes, around 2019, 2020 is when I kind of took it really serious. I was like making music like pretty much any free time, like after school, after work. I would just go into my room, had like a little snowball mic and a little Chromebook laptop, and I would just go to BandLab and either find a beat or create one or buy one, and then just load it up on BandLab and just did as I go.
So, how did the lockdown affect your music?
Um, It really, I mean, it kind of, well, with my perspective with like the lockdown and everything, honestly, like I felt like it kind of made me evolve in a way, because like during lockdown, I didn't really have nothing else to do. And like from 2020 to 2021, like from the beginning to the end of lockdown, like I feel like it made me way more better. Like it made me so much better with, production, with my vocal presets and all of that stuff. Like I feel like it genuinely made me better. Mentally though, like personally, it really affected me. It didn't affect just me, but it affected the whole world. But honestly, I feel like music saved me in that period of time, honestly.
Okay. Do you think your music heals anyone else? You said
I
your
hope
music heals you. Does your music heal anyone else?
I hope. I really do hope, because that's why I like to make music, because I just like to make raw, real, authentic music and talk about real situations and, real shit. And I don't sugarcoat anything that I say in my songs. Like all the emotion and all of the lyrics, like mostly, sometimes it's just in the moment, like just trying to come up with a bar or coming up with a lyric. But majority of my music, like most of my sad stuff and most of like my storytelling and stuff like that, that's my true self. That's me.
So your songs that you write are from personal experience. Is it personal
Somewhat.
experience only, or is
Not
it
only,
okay?
just
So
some.
it could be something you observed or
Mhm.
something someone else went through that affected
Mhm.
you enough that you thought you should write a song about it.
Right. Yeah. In a way, yes.
Is it easy to write a song about someone else's emotions or something someone else went through?
Um, there's a couple of songs that I have wrote that it's not my perspective, but it is like one of my songs that I made was called Another Lover, which just recently came out for my Moonchild 2 album that just came out this year. And it's in a female perspective, and people are like they had like so many questions about it. They were just like, What is this song about?" Like they were just kind of like iffy about it. So I had to explain to a lot of people. It's like it's not my perspective. I'm singing and I'm writing in the other partner or the significant other's perspective.
Okay.
Because I could do that too. Like it sometimes like I have songs and stuff like that, and I'm talking about like just like storytelling, either my perspective or both of our perspectives or just the other person's perspective of like what I think, I guess, if that makes sense.
Do you think that when people, when you initially wrote that song from someone else's perspective and you listen back to it, do you think that when you put it out, or did you think when you put it out that people would question the song the way that they have?
I mean, kind of like like when I was like re-listening to the track, like, you know, I was thinking to myself like they might understand, they might come up with different assumptions and like their own creative ideas and stuff, and then like, you know, I put a mark on them and they get inspired and stuff like that. And I know that I have inspired a lot of people with my music as well. And like I want to shout out to Venue and like their people as well because like a lot of the artists are very very talented, and I have been working with a couple of them too. And like they have told me and my own little collective of artists that I work with and stuff, they genuinely like they understand what I'm trying to put out.
Do you do anything in music besides sing? Do you play, like, for example, do you play any instruments? Um,
Um,
Anything like that?
the first instrument that I ever picked up, I was 11 years old, and it was the ukulele, and I still play ukulele. I play piano and drums, and I'm trying to get into guitar slowly.
Okay, so the keyboard and the drums that people hear in your music, is that you?
Sometimes. Like there's some songs and stuff like that. Like I will get a beat or something like that, and then when I'm in the recording and stuff like that, I'll feel like this part of the song like I might not have any lyrics for, or I might not have anything to put in that area. So I'll be like, well, I'm just gonna bust out like a keyboard solo and stuff like that. And some of my songs, like you will hear like maybe like after a chorus or something like that, and you could hear like a piano part or a keyboard or synthesizer, any little sound effects and stuff. I usually add on to the track to actually give it more an ambiance, a more of its own world, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you do anything in the arts other than music? Do you write poems? Do you write books? Do you write, or I'm sorry, do you paint? Something like that.
Um, Before I got into music, I was really into like illustrations, sketches, and like art class when I was in school and stuff like that. And I really wanted, if my music career didn't go and stuff like that, and anything in particular with music, I would probably do art and probably do paints and maybe do animation because I really do. I watch cartoons. Like cartoons will be playing in the background while I'm recording, like on my TV. Like I'll be watching, I don't know, like old '90s Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, whatever is on and stuff like that. It'll be in the background, and I'm watching and I'm recording.
Do you have any of your sketches out there where people can find them?
I think I posted a couple of them. It was kind of like a time when everybody was like comparing my music and people were saying that like I sounded hella like The Weeknd. And I was like, I'm gonna try to draw The Weeknd. And like I did a couple of sketches. And I did one in like 2018 and I did one in 2020 during lockdown. I believe I posted them. If not, I could definitely share them after this.
I think if they're not up, I think you should. And I
Sweet.
think if I I think artists, musicians that do other things besides music, people
Mm.
that write poems, people that sketch, people that paint, they should make that, since it is part of them and their music is part of them. I think they should put all their art out there
Mm.
and definitely show their fans I'm more than just a singer, songwriter, producer,
Mm.
um, musician, engineer, whatever the case may be. I'm this also. And that would
I
give your
also
fans.
got I also really got into YouTubing as well, like as a child and stuff like that from like 15. I still kind of do it now. In like 2023, I went live, did like live streams and like played games and stuff like that and connected with other people and stuff like that on live streams, just playing games and, streaming for like 2 or 3 hours a day and stuff like that. Every time that I was available or free, I would just hop on the game, record and go live on YouTube and stuff for a few hours and stuff. And I really enjoyed that too.
Well, if you have time, could you do it today?
Possibly.
Because I bet since you've, moved away from it, I bet that market in gaming has probably really opened up.
Oh yeah. And plus like with all these new titles coming out and people, getting on different games and stuff or trending games. Honestly, I feel like if I went back to it, because I haven't done it for like a few months and stuff, because I kind of like took a break. I was like, all right, I was doing it for like 3 hours a day, every day for like almost 2 years. And I was like, I think I just need to take a little break. Because like it was kind of, I wouldn't say I was getting exhausted. Like I was enjoying every bit of like any encounter or anybody commenting and me, socializing and talking to the viewers as well. Like I enjoyed all of that. I really did and stuff like that.
Well,
But like
if you got back into it, you could
mm,
really promote your music as well.
that too, yeah.
Like
Actually,
you could,
I have not thought of that and I feel kind of goofy about it. I could have really promoted all of my music all those times I streamed. I'm gonna do
well,
that. Thank you.
i-
Thank you for
if
that.
if you're playing a game and you could even make clips, shorts, whatever you want to call them, you could have you playing the game with the volume down on the game, obviously, and your music in the background.
I'm gonna do
And
that.
somewhere on the screen, you could say the game name, of course, but you could also say what song that I'm getting to listen to while I watch this clip. And
Right.
if I see a clip like that where there's motion, stuff moving around,
Hmm.
That's going to catch my eye a little bit faster than just what some artists do. And I understand they'll have just a still shot and they'll have their music playing. Well, a lot of times, based on my jobs, when I'm on Instagram, I don't have the speaker on. So I'm just reading posts and going through. And if it's something that requires sound,
Hmm.
but it's only a still shot, I'm going to kind of scroll past it. But if
Right.
there's something going on and I see some stuff down here about this song, this game, I might hit that speaker button just, okay, what's going on here?
Right.
And I think it out of the music I've heard from you, I think you could easily work some of that in with games and really, really promote two things that you do, both gaming and the music.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
I
would definitely look into that. I would definitely do something with that because, like, honestly, like, I mean, I feel like I've kind of maybe thought about it before and stuff like that, but I think I was just kind of too scared. Honestly, it was the fear that was getting to me. Cause like me, I have like bad anxiety, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna see my gaming, and they're gonna hear my music. What are they really gonna think about it? But like, mostly everything that I've heard, like, with my music and stuff like that, I haven't really heard anything about, like, me doing, like, gaming and doing live streams or, being a streamer and stuff like that. It was mostly focused on the music and stuff. So I was like, it was kind of a debate. It was like, should I do this or this? In my perspective, I was like, I really want to post more music and post less of streaming. But I never thought about putting it together, and I don't know why. It just makes me feel so dumb. It just makes like I never thought of that.
well, maybe you need to look at things from an outsider's point of view sometimes.
Right.
But you being an artist and having a life outside of music,
Mm.
you got a whole lot going on. So it's probably hard enough just to keep up with what you got going on now,
Literally.
without having to add something else into the mix.
Right.
Well, outside of gaming, what do you do for fun?
I like to skate, and I do skateboarding. I like to watch movies with my fiance and stuff like that, and spend time with her. Maybe go out to eat, go to an arcade, something that involves with movies or video games. I'm a movie critic. I love movies. Some of my songs I was really inspired off of like certain movies and stuff like that, and I'll put it in music form, like in my perspective and stuff like that, and like not make like a movie soundtrack, but kind of just like make a story based off of a movie that I watched and put it in music form.
Do you think you could score a movie with your music?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like it would be very easy because like if I want somebody to be in their feels for a certain scene, I feel like it would be very easy because like honestly, like a lot of people like sad music, and I feel like if they're watching a scene that's sad and I'm doing like a orchestra or making my own theme for it, I feel like it would be a hitter, honestly. My own opinion.
Okay. Describe the perfect day.
Waking up not feeling sad, getting some good healthy food in you, spending time with family, um, taking care of responsibilities, and make sure to take a shower. You don't want to stink. um, and then you know do your responsibilities and go to bed.
Okay. How often do you work on music?
I knew that was going to be one of the questions. I I was working on music before we even started this. So pretty much all the time, like whenever I every time I like come up with an idea or anytime that I have like a thought process and I need to get it out, I either put it on pen and paper or I will put it in my notes on my phone to save for later, and then I'll be like, "Hey, I remember writing this earlier and stuff like that. I'm gonna go record." So mostly
Uh,
like, pardon me. So mostly like all the time, really. Music is everything to me.
So if you're away from the house, you're busy, something inspires you,
And
and
I write it
you go to your phone and put it in the notes.
down. Yep. Just
When
so I can remember what I was thinking about, or if I have a and some people think that I remember like I could be at work or at school and we could be in the middle of work or in the middle of class and I'll come up with like a melody and I'll be like, I will not remember this later. I'm going to record like 20 or 30 seconds of me just doing a melody and I'll have like a little 30-second clip in my phone in my gallery of just like me singing, doing a little melody, little riff or something like that. And I'll be like, oh, I forgot I had this in my phone. I'm gonna go put that in my song, or I'm gonna, do something with it.
Okay, well, when you get back home and you have the opportunity to work on that, how long does it take to go from concept to finished product?
Not really that long, honestly. It usually like to give you an answer. Back in 2022, I released an album December 4th, which was Moonchild One that I created, and it only took me about 2 weeks to create 10 tracks, and I released it in 2 weeks.
So that went from sitting down and writing to recorded, mixed, mastered, and
Mhm.
out in the wild.
Publishing. Yep. And like when it comes to like a single or when it comes to just like a singular song, I could probably get done like with an idea and with my thought process and everything, I could probably get done with a song in like maybe 2 hours and then publish.
So I think that is awesome. You're able
Mm.
to do all that so quickly. How do you
And,
feel about that as far as the
um,
time?
I mean, honestly, I don't really think about it that way. Honestly, like I really don't think like like I just make the song and stuff and I'm like, okay, I think it's good enough to publish and I'll publish it. But I never really thought of myself like, man, this was really quick or this was really fast. It was just my perspective while doing it. I'm just like, I got another song done. Hell yeah. But honestly, I've never really thought of it like, man, I'm really fucking fast with this or I'm extremely quick. I've never really thought of it that way.
Well, in your collective of artists outside of venue music, how long does it take them to go from concept to creation with their music?
So like when it comes to like me working with an artist and say like we have like a collaboration or a feature and stuff like that, I give them time. I give them as much time as I can and stuff like that. Like I'll give them a deadline. I'll be like, hey, I'll give you like I'm very generous when it comes to that. Like I'll be like, hey, I'll give you like to the end of this month. Like, say for instance, if I was talking to one of my artists right now and they're like, yo, party, like I really want to make a song with you. Can we get something started? I'll be like, yeah. Your deadline will be at the end of the month, basically. And they I feel like they would get it done by then and stuff like that. Like I said, like I'm very patient when it comes to music. I want it to be perfect. I want to make it right. And like I've had a couple of artists that I've worked with where they would just slap everything together and it would just sound like dog shit. And like I'll talk to them and I'll be like, hey, is there a way that you can tweak this? Or hey, like the auto tune don't sound good, or your preset's kind of off on the beat, or you kind of didn't match up with the beat. And sometimes they get hesitant and sometimes they get mad and stuff like that. But I always stay humble. And I'm like, look, if you don't like how I run things, or if you don't like how I do my music, and if you really want to be a feature or collaborator on a project or something like that, and you don't respect how I run things, I'm sorry. I apologize, but I don't think this is going to work out.
Okay, well, I respect that. If somebody hits you up and says they want to work on a song, I would assume that that artist already has something started and that they
Okay.
they they want to bring it to you and say, "Hey, this is the direction I want to go with it. Can
Mhm.
you add your part to it?" Or do
Yeah, that
people hit
have.
you up and just say, "Hey, I want to make a song about, you
Mhm.
know, making it big, making a ton of money, and finding
Mhm.
the partner of my dreams."
Honestly, it just kind of depends on the person, really, because like when it comes to like making music with me, like I'll have like me with my crew and my closest people I like making music with. Shout out to them. Uh, one of my closest buddies, he goes by Kilo 11 SK, and me and him have made. We're working on a whole collab project, like a little EP, little demo, and like we have chemistry. Like when it comes to our tracks and stuff like that, me and Kilo, we have chemistry. He's a very good musician as well. And but it just kind of just depends on the person, because like I will go down in detail and go with like song topics and send them paragraphs and be like, so what's the story? What's this track about? What are you really wanting to do and stuff like that? And then there's some people are like, hey, like I already got this song. Would you like to listen to it? And would you like to be a feature? And I'll be like, all right, I'm down. And they send it to me, and I get done with a feature like 5, 10 minutes, because like it's only like maybe they'll have like an open, and it'll be like maybe like a minute long, and so like I write for like 5 minutes and then start recording and get done one take pretty much each time. Sometimes I have like a little bit of difficulty when it just depends on the track and stuff, but like if it's something that I'm familiar with, or if it's something that I genuinely connect with, I could get it done in no time. Like with a snap of finger, track done. And then like they get excited, they'll be like, "Oh shit, this is dope. Like it's really good. Like I love it." And then I'll be like, "I appreciate it. Can't wait until you post it." Like there's a lot of songs that I have with my crew and stuff like that that are unreleased, and I probably I have I have a lot, like a lot of features. Like there's a lot.
Well, if you've been in other people's music, is there somewhere under your name where I can find all those songs that you've been featured in?
Yeah, if you just type in like on YouTube or SoundCloud, if you type in like feature parties unknown, like my name, usually I believe like you could find pretty much all the collaborations that I have done.
Now, how do you spell Parties Unknown?
Prtynkxwn.
Okay, if you don't mind, if you'll do it one more time.
Uh, Prtynkxwn.
Okay, and I was doing that for the listeners and the viewers, so maybe they're
Mhm.
writing it down or excuse me, tapping it into their phone.
Yeah, I kind of misspelled my name, my stage name and stuff, because I wanted it to be unique, and I wanted it to look different, because like I don't know, because like there's like a lot of people that like to put numbers or hashtags or certain symbols in their name and stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna misspell the entire stage name, and then like people really thought it was cool. I was like, I'm gonna just stick with that.
Well, do you think it makes it difficult for people to find you if they know your name as Parties Unknown and then they
Mm.
type it into say YouTube or Spotify and
Mhm.
you don't come up?
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, but yeah, I had a couple of people that are like, I can't really find you and stuff like that. And that's when I started. I was like, okay, if people can't find my music and stuff like that, I'm just gonna do like a link tree and put it in my Instagram where they can find my YouTube, my SoundCloud, and all of that. So like if anybody follows me or they run into me on social media and they're like, "Oh, I like this dude's music or whatever," they could literally, because like mostly every post that I post, I'll be like, "Hey, link in bio. All my links are in link in bio and stuff like that." And like they just look at my post. If they look at the comment or the like underneath the post or whatever, they could just go to my profile and they could check out my SoundCloud and my YouTube and all of that and stuff. So I feel like I feel like after since I've done that, I feel like it's like much easier for people to find me.
So if I'm listening to a playlist on Spotify,
Mhm.
excuse me again, and your song comes on and I open up my phone, it's going to be easy for me to find you based off what Spotify is posting.
I hope. I hope. I really do. Because
Okay.
like I used to post on Spotify with DistroKid and stuff like that, and then I wasn't getting paid my royalties, and I wasn't really, getting a lot of views and stuff. And I noticed I was getting more views on YouTube and SoundCloud, so I was like, I'm going to drop Spotify for now, and eventually, like once I start blowing up and getting more up there as a musician and getting more known, then I'll start, putting more on Spotify and put more on iHeartRadio or any music outlet.
All right.
But right
What do
now
you
it's just YouTube and SoundCloud for now.
what do you want from your music?
To spread the message, like from sadness to happy, you know, like you're not alone. Everybody goes through things, and I hope my music heals. Like I've been through a lot, and a lot of my music is about, post traumatic past, PTSD, anxiety, depression, and just sadness in general. And I feel like me making music with under that category and stuff, I feel like it brings us more close because we know that we are not alone and everything is going to be okay, you know.
So would you say mental health plays a huge role in your music?
Most definitely, yes.
Would you say mental health plays a huge role in music in general?
Just honestly, yeah, it just kind of depends on like who you're listening to, or it just depends on the artist, I guess. It depends on like what's their message and what they're trying to put out, you know?
Yep. What does music mean to you?
Everything. I honestly don't think I would be here talking to you today if it wasn't for music, honestly.
Why should I listen to your music?
I mean, don't have to if you don't want to. Like,
Well,
you know,
sell me on your music. I like your music. I've been listening, so I'm gonna keep listening. But for someone who hasn't heard your songs, sell them on your songs.
um, it's like if if you're a genuine person and if you're looking for new music to listen to, and if you like multiple genre musicians or artists and stuff like that, go tap in. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, it's completely okay with me.
What types of music do you listen to?
I listen to a lot, honestly. Like I listen to Pretty much everything from like what I said in the beginning, like Motown, R&B, pop. I like rock, heavy metal, country rock, like the whole nine yards. Like I'll even listen to like other cultures, reggae, Spanish, like pretty much all nine yards. Like I like all music.
Do you have any unfinished music?
Yes, I do. There's sometimes that like I'll kind of get stuck in a rut or kind of like not be able to like think about like how am I gonna finish this song? Cause like I want to make sure that everything is authentic. I want to make sure everything is peak. Make sure everything is set and everything good. And if I can't really think of like an ending or a beginning, sometimes not even anything at all. Like it would just be like a blank track and it would just be, the beat itself, the music without, vocals and stuff like that. And sometimes I get stuck in like writer's block and sometimes I get stuck in like my headspace that I'm just like really debating and really trying to think of like a story and stuff like that. And sometimes I get myself out of that. But yeah, I still have a lot of unfinished music that I'm still working on from like 3 years ago.
When you get writer's block, how do you deal with that?
I listen to other music to get inspired. Listen
Who
to
who listens to your music when it's complete? Who's the first person that listens to your music?
my grandmother. My grandmother that raised me, she was really like she's like my number one person that I go to and I'll be like, "Hey, I got a new song for you." And like I have seen her cry over some songs that are deep and emotional. I've seen her happy and she's just been wanting me like my number one wish and like her number one wish like before anything happens to her and stuff. She really wants me to get out there and she really wants me to perform and wants me to create myself a career with this. And like that's what keeps me going is like my grandma inspiring me to keep going and to keep doing what I love best.
So, what is success in music for you? What is the top of the mountain?
Stability, honestly. Like, yeah, money, fortune, fame, and red carpet and having jewelry. I'm honestly like I'm gonna be like the Adam Sandler of the music industry. Like I'm not a flashy person. I just want to have a stable income where I can live normally like everyone else and, have money stacked up just in case, like, if, me and my fiance, if we have children and stuff, I can pay for their college, all the family, more important things. Because, like, I'm not going to be driving around in a Rari in Miami and trying to pick up chicks or going to clubs. I'll perform in clubs and perform at concerts or like Lollapalooza and different things, but like you're not gonna really see me be like every other musician and be on social media flexing and flashy and all that. That's just not me.
So, as you know, I asked that question to just about, excuse me, every artist that I interview, and I always get the same answer. They want stability. They want to be able to pay their bills. They want to be able to live their current lifestyle
Mhm.
based on income from music. They're not looking to sell out Bridgestone Arena, which is the Titan Stadium here in Nashville, or
Mhm.
these huge, 1 year tours across America, things like that. They're looking more at, I guess, the way life really is for most musicians. It's not, I mean, I, as a
I would
consumer,
definitely
I take
perform. I would definitely perform for stadiums, shows, concerts, and I would definitely do like for my fans because like not just for myself, but like when it comes to like music, if somebody really wants to see me in person and they pay a ticket, I'm also going to make sure like the tickets are affordable for everybody and make shows cheap for everybody. Like I don't agree with like almost $1,000 ticket, 300 all the way up to 600. Like $30 tickets to see a big show. Like I would love to do that for my fans, for my people, that have been around and seen me from all my downfalls and from the come up and till now. Like I would definitely perform, and I would definitely, that's like one of my number one dreams, is to see the smiles on people's faces when their favorite song comes on, or to see, you know, people cry if one of their favorite sad songs come on, because like I'm right there with them and channel them, channel the connection and the feeling and stuff. Like I love connecting with people too.
have you ever performed live?
I've only performed live one time, and it was at a little venue, kind of like I think it was like a family bar in my downtown and stuff like that, and I had to pay like $300 to get everything set up, which I was completely fine with because like there was about I performed for like minimum maybe 100 to 200 people.
That's not bad. That's not bad to perform for that many people your first time out. That's
Yeah.
that's a pretty big deal. Did you get stage fright?
I used to. The very first time I ever experienced stage fright was I was in fourth grade and I did a talent show, and it was me and my buddy, because me and him, we were really into Bruno Mars at the time, and I was singing "When I Was Your Man," and I just saw all of my classmates and their parents all lined up, sitting in chairs, watching us perform, and I won first place. And I had so much fear. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. And then when I heard that we won first place, it was just like kind of like a relief, kind of like, wow, they really enjoyed this.
So you don't get stage fright now,
Not really, no. If I had the
or do
chance to get on
you?
and perform, I feel like I would conquer it. Cause like
Okay,
the
I
first,
like that.
the, yeah, like when like that whole talent show happened, I was like really shy and really like I was very in fear. And then when I did my first show, I kind of had a little bit of stage fright. I was just like, shit, there's like 200 people in front of me. What am I gonna do? Like, is my voice gonna crack, or am I gonna sing the song wrong, or if I am I gonna just like, you know pussy out of it? Like, am I gonna be a pussycat about it, or am I gonna grow some balls and actually perform and do this? And I conquered that, and I went through it all.
Okay, so you have to get in your own head and basically give
I
yourself a
imagine
pep talk.
everybody in their underwear.
So so is that advice you give to other performers?
Yeah, like
Imagine
don't if you're getting
imagine
judged,
every
or you feel like people are going to like not like you or whatever, just don't like show off, but like think deep down in yourself, you could do this, you got it. Don't worry about them, worry about you. And do whatever it takes to belch out your song in front of all these people. Get it out, spread the message and stuff, no matter what it takes. Like if you have to imagine everybody in their underwear and like, haha, they're in their underwear, look at me, I have my clothes on, we're gonna sing this shit, just to make yourself feel better so you could actually do your performance and do your act. And that's what it has to take.
So, who are your heroes in music?
The Weeknd, Juice World, XXXTentacion, Lil Peep, um, Deftones. That's pretty much like off, off the top of my head.
That's a interesting group of musicians. Do you think that they would enjoy your music if they heard it?
I hope, really. Um, for me being inspired and stuff like that, I feel like if some of them have passed away, or R.I.P. to the ones that passed away and stuff. I feel like if I would have got the chance to meet some of them, the ones that are still alive or gone, I feel like I would have a lot of connection with a lot of them. Honestly, I feel like we would hit it off and connect and make some beautiful music. Honestly,
Who would you like to do a project with, dead or alive?
Juice World for Dead on Dead, probably Juice World. My top would be Juice World, and
Wow.
Alive. I would actually love to make songs with like Bruno Mars or The Weeknd. Like they're really good artists. Like they helped me through a lot of dark times growing up and stuff.
Do your friends and family have influence in your music?
Maybe my father a little bit. My father, uh, like when he showed me, like when I do like rock tracks and stuff like that, I kind of channel my dad in a way. Cause like my dad, he could shred a guitar. He always wanted to be part of a band. He always wanted to do music in general, and he just never did it. And I want to do it for him too. And him showing me like '80s hair metal bands, rock, heavy metal, new metal, grunge, like the whole nine yards. Like when it comes to like that type of music, and with me like being a multiple genre musician, when I do rock and stuff, I kind of channel my father. Like me and my dad, we really do sound alike, we look alike, and I feel like when it comes to that genre, it would be my father.
What headspace were you in when you wrote the song Outsiders?
I was kind of like I was really wanting to make a song where it was relatable and understanding, so people like when it comes to what we were just talking about, like mental health and everything. I wanted to create a track where I was just like, I know you feel all alone and nobody understands, but you're not, and you could always reach out for help, no matter if it's addiction, depression, or something personal going into your life. Everybody goes through it all, and you're not alone. Kind of like the track is a standalone saying, like, this music is for you if you need it. Like, if you're sad and you want to come out of it, or if you're like really down low in the dumps and stuff, go listen to my track and hopefully it makes you feel better and understand.
Do you think the consumer hears that in that song?
I believe, yeah, I believe so. I hope, honestly, because like mental health is very important. And with me, I always felt like an outsider, and I always felt like the black sheep of the family and never fit into anything. And so I'm just trying to, you know, make a song to people to relate to, that who others feel like outsiders or black sheeps of their family. They could be like, oh my God, this is how I feel. Or, man, like I completely relate to this song, you know?
Yeah. What kind what kind of legacy do you want to leave as far as your music?
I want people to remember me as I want people to remember me as a genuine artist. I want people to remember me as like I could be their idol, or some people could look at me as an icon. I want people to look at me as just a genuine, spiritually loving being as I am.
What makes you happy?
My fiance, my fiance, and helping people. Having people around. Being around people that are genuine as me, and no bad intentions, all good intentions. And like, I'm a very humble person, and in general, I just want to be surrounded with happiness and the people that care and the people that are there.
Do you like crunchy or creamy peanut butter?
Crunchy peanut butter. Oh yeah, I like crunchy peanut
All
butter.
right.
That's like my go-to.
All right. What's your favorite color?
Red and black.
Wait, red and black. So would
Yeah,
that
like,
be maroon?
no, no, like I like the color. I like the color black, but I also like the color red. Those are like my two. I mean, red and black on the can right there. That sums it out right there. I'm wearing black, and my t-shirt my t-shirt has red and black. That's mostly what I wear.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'll take that. That's not it's not a single color, but you
If it
have
was a
proven
single
your
color,
love
if it's a
for both.
if it yeah, I was gonna say if it's a single color, it would have to be red.
Okay. What is your view on social media and music videos for artists, for indie artists?
Um, it just depends, because like with social media and everything, you just got to be careful who you talk to. You just got to be careful who you reach out to, because there's a lot of people that will fuck you over, and there's a lot of people that are scammers. And you just have to watch out. Be careful of who is on social media, but social media platforms, including like posting music videos or little snippets or clips and stuff, I feel like is a good way to generate an audience.
Well, for an indie artist that has to shell out whatever, however many hundreds of dollars to get a professional music video made, do you feel that that is something an artist should strive to do, or do you think an artist should work their way up and promote obviously the music, but because video has video is like the new oil. It's
Mm.
just it has you have to have it, and video more or less promotes music now. So, what would you tell an up and coming indie artist when it comes to social media, shorts, videos, things like that, since you've already been down that road a little ways?
Um, I would tell another indie artist to, set yourself a schedule, because like you don't want to overly post and stuff like that, because if you overly post, it's going to drown the other posts down, and you're not going to have a lot of views, you're not going to have you know, a lot of things. So you kind of want to go with the algorithm and like hashtags and stuff like that, but you kind of want to take things at a slow pace, but in a rhythm. Like, post 3 times a day, for instance, like start with Sunday, and then Wednesday, and then Friday, and then go back to Sunday, and just kind of like do that little rhythm, because you don't want to do like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and post like 3 times a day, because it's going to drain out all the other work that you just put in hours of hard work in, or like little snippets or little edits and stuff. You want to make sure to keep the rhythm, keep the flow, and keep it. regular and keep it kind of slow, but eventually you're going to get views and you're going to get it what you're trying to look for.
Okay.
And the hashtags really do work. Like if you do like hashtag new music, hashtag link in bio for you page, or um 2025 new artists, like just different little hashtags like that. That also generates uh more people to view your post and everything. It also just depends on like what the indie artist is trying to put out, like whatever genre that they're doing.
What would you like your fans to know about you?
Um, I'm the same as them, but I just make music. I'm genuine. I'm I'm very I wear my heart on my sleeve. Like I genuinely care about a lot of people and I love them. Really.
Um, Outside of the Weekend in Juice World, is there? I'm sorry, allergies are killing me,
You're
man.
you're all good. I just got done with a whole sickness, bro. I completely understand.
Is there a album that inspired you?
That's hard. That's a hard question. Hmm. That's genuinely that got me stumped for a minute. Yeah, probably like with those artists or like outside of those artists.
Um, let's go outside of the artist
Mm.
and then with the artist. Because you listen to such a wide variety of
Mm.
music. There's probably one album out there that really that you go back to quite a bit, that is an artist that you haven't spoke of yet.
There's this newer artist that I really want to collaborate with because like I genuinely love his sound and he is Canadian and he's on the rise right now. He just sold out all of his tour tickets and stuff around the US. And he goes by Gunner, Gunnr, and I really do like his new album called Silk and Shadows, and I've been listening to that ever since it's been released this year. And I don't know, I just genuinely connect with what he's talking about in the album and his music. And he kind of does like a glitch pop, hip hop, techno pop kind of. And I really enjoy the style and I would love to meet him or I would love to collaborate. And he's an independent musician as well. He's doing all this with his little team and everything. And like I think we're around the same age or he's a little bit older, but I genuinely I fuck with him heavy. He's really, really good artist.
Well, have you reached out?
I believe I texted him a couple of times. And I was just like, "Hey, if you get this," or because I know that he's doing tours and stuff like that. And I was like, "Hey, if you get this, like, I would love to reach out and chat and hopefully we can connect and make something." Because like I really genuinely like his new album called Silk and Shadow.
Well, have you sent him snippets, shorts, or whatever of your music?
I believe I sent him a couple of posts, but he hasn't reached out yet. Like I said, I believe he's still on tour and he's doing music and stuff like that. So he's kind of busy at the moment, but whenever he sees me, I'll be ready. I'll be for sure ready. Shout out to Gunner though.
What are the first songs you sat down and really wrote and said, I'm going to make music with the. Ah, let me rephrase that. What are the first songs that you sat down and really wrote and said, these are going to be the start of my music career?
Um, it was kind of like when I started BandLab. When I did BandLab in 2019, I was 16 and I think I was a sophomore in high school. And I was finding like there's this thing on the app where it's called forking in somebody's track, and basically you could invite yourself to the track and put a part in it, and it's kind of like a big huge collaboration. And there was a couple of people that I talked to, and I was in some of their songs and stuff, and I was like, is it okay if I have this song and like post it and stuff like that? And like majority of them were like, yeah, man, like, you could put us out there too and stuff. And I like to help, local artists and small musicians on the net and like try to get them somewhere as well. And it was probably like my first project I called The Run, and it was like 14 different tracks. It had like a bunch of collaborators on them and stuff, but genuinely in like 2019, that's where it kicked off. I was like, I'm gonna make more and more and more, and then it just grew to a whole big thing.
Would you call Parties Unknown a brand?
It could be. It really could be. Like I feel like Parties Unknown can not just be just like music and stuff. I feel like it could also be a fashion because I really do like clothing and I always wanted to do merch and stuff like that.
Okay. If you were to make t-shirts right now, what would be on the t-shirt? Since you
Probably.
like merch, since you like fashion, do you have, well, I know you have because I've seen it on your social media. You
Mm,
have a, I'm sorry, man, these allergies.
you're
You
okay. Go
have,
on.
well, it's embarrassing that I'm asking questions with coughs in them, but and here we go again.
You're
You
good.
have a a a brand, you have a logo
Mhm.
that was attached to your social media. So
Yeah,
if
it's
you
actually
made,
the photo, the little logo avatar for it.
who came up with that avatar, that logo?
Was thinking to myself, and I was like, I want to, first part of my name, party, and like kind of like do like an angel wing, and then on the other side where the Y is, I wanted to do like devil horns to make it unique and stuff like that, to make it, pop out to people like, who the hell is this guy? So genuinely, that's why I made that logo the way it is.
How do you deal with haters when it comes to your music?
I mostly just ignore them, honestly. Like when it comes to them like saying like, "Oh, your music sucks," or "Your sound is trash," or shit talking to me on the internet, or they are in my DMs saying like how bad of an artist I am, I just usually just ignore it and go on with my day. I don't let hate and negativity get in my way. I usually stick with the positivity and stuff because like there's a lot of people that could be very hateful and very rude for no reason, and I don't have time for that.
What advice would you give someone who wants to make music for a living? What,
That's
or someone who,
genuinely I was gonna say if
someone
it's
who,
genuinely what they really want to do and stuff like that, if they genuinely want to get into music and stuff, you just gotta believe in yourself and never quit. No matter if it sounds like shit, as long as you like it, put it out and let other people listen to what you made and what you like. Because at the end of the day, it's art. It's just art.
have you ever wanted to give up on music? Have you ever wanted to quit?
Plenty of times. Like I felt like I couldn't find myself for a long time, and I'm just like, I don't know, like I just feel like nothing is going anywhere, or I feel like if shit hits the fan, then so be it, honestly. But like, I just there was a part of me that's just like it's kind of like a little scenario, like a devil on your shoulder and an angel, and the devil's just like, yeah, fuck up, you're a piece of shit, you're not gonna make it, you're just gonna fail, fail, fail. And then I was just listening to the angel, like, you'll get better, just keep rolling with it, keep going, never give up on yourself. And that's
So
kind of like how
that's
the logo, like going back to the logo, that's kind of like how the logo, that's kind of like how it feels like with the music, honestly. Like the two little voices in my head, like, oh, like you're gonna fuck up, you're gonna fail, this music shit, you're not going to get nowhere with it. And then the other voice is like, you're doing phenomenal, you're doing great, take deep breaths and keep rolling with it.
so the logo actually means something other than I'm sorry, other than just a logo. The logo,
Yeah.
maybe that was
Like
not
with
the
the
right way
angel
to
wing
phrase
and
that.
like the devil
Logo,
horn as party. Yeah.
yeah, it has meaning other than just something that looks cool.
Mhm.
There's an actual meaning behind it.
Yeah. Basically what I just explained kind of is an example of the logo as well.
So let's circle back to you being a brand or Parties Unknown being a brand. For you to get paid for your music, you have to have some sort of brand. You have to have some sort of name that someone can write a check to.
Yeah.
So, do you feel that you need to build Parties Unknown into a brand so you can get paid
Yeah.
for your art?
Yeah, cause like, for, like, the past 2 years and stuff, I've been actually this is the first time I'm actually talking about it. Cause like, I haven't mentioned it to nobody, so technically, you're the first person to know. I am trying to work on that and work on my merch store and getting that all set up and stuff like that, where people, if they're, like, a genuine fan and they really do like my music and stuff, they could get some cheap merch, like $20 T-shirts, $15 hats, maybe a necklace, maybe a chain, maybe like a $30 hoodie, something, nothing too crazy in
Outright.
price
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do
and stuff
you
like
do
that. And
you
I'm genuinely going to keep it probably those prices forever. Cause like honestly, like I want people to be able to afford like tickets, merch, music in general, you know.
do you have someone that can create the merch for you?
Myself.
Do what?
Myself. I design my own stuff. Like I actually have a couple of concepts. I can't get to them right now, but eventually. But yeah, I have a couple of concept hoodies and a couple of concept t-shirts and hats and stuff that with a logo or maybe an album cover of mine that I made and stuff. I create everything myself. Like with the album covers, with the logos, with the art and stuff like that. That's genuinely all me.
Well, if you have concepts, why don't you post them out there and see what your fan base thinks about your different concepts and
I'm
have them vote
probably
on it?
eventually, like when I'm done with all the concepts and tell and I'm going to publicly speak and be like, hey, like merch store, you know, see what you like, see what you think of this post and stuff like that. I'm actually going to do that pretty soon.
Well, do you
When
have
the
some?
time is right.
I got you. Do you have someone that can actually silk screen everything for you?
At the very moment, no, but eventually, yes.
Okay. Well, we we can talk off camera about that. I might have somebody that can uh, I'm sorry again with the allergies. Man,
You're all good.
I have
You're
some
all good.
I have somebody that does good work but stays very busy, but is willing to work with indie artists and people and do small batch merch, to get people started.
Sweet.
Now, I introduced you as a singer, songwriter, engineer, producer.
Mhm.
If you could only do one thing out of everything I just listed, what would it be?
Singing, be a singer.
What does being a singer mean to you?
Um, Not just for me, but it it's been there all my life, and I've always sung songs with family, karaoke nights, spending time with family. Maybe like I remember growing up as a kid, like every Saturday morning, MTV would come up with like new songs, like just released Friday and stuff like that. And like Friday they will come out with the songs, and then Saturday they would be on the air on MTV and stuff. And I would sit there every Saturday morning, and my grandmother or my dad would be like, "Hey, our song is on. Would you want to come in there and like we could sing along and stuff like that?" And I've always done that, and genuinely I just have a passion and a connection with my vocals, like me singing and stuff like that.
All right. Now, you did a cover of a John Lennon song. Tell us about that.
I kind of done. It was one of my favorite songs by John Lennon, and it was. I'm a huge fan of John Lennon. R.I.P. to John Lennon. And my dad showed me the Beatles as a very young kid and stuff like that. I kind of did the song for my dad because that's like one of his favorite songs is "Woman." But I made that song and I did the cover for my fiance because like we've been together for almost 2.5 years, and we're getting married and stuff like that. And that's probably going to be the song that we're going to dance to. Not for sure yet, but hopefully.
Okay. Who did the video for that song?
I did. I actually edited all of our me and my fiance's like little videos and photos and just put them all together in CapCut and put like filters and put my audio in there and then rendered it, made sure it was all good and stuff and like 4K and everything and posted it.
I enjoyed the video to that song. I've gone back a couple of times on YouTube and watched that video. I enjoyed your vocals. I enjoyed everything out of everything I watched. That was my favorite
I appreciate
because
that.
I could see or I could feel the emotion in the music. And then you gave me I didn't have to picture it in my mind, you just put it there. And you made
Mhm.
it so easy for me to just, lose myself in that and to watch it from start to finish because you kept me engaged. Do you think you could do a similar video for your upcoming music?
Like music videos and stuff. I'm eventually going to be working with them. Actually talking to a couple of videographers at the moment, and we're getting stuff set up for some singles that are going to be coming out for my new project. And hopefully it goes well, and hopefully give out some good visuals for the fans and for the people and for your enjoyment as well.
Can you talk about the new project yet, or is it so new that it's kind of hush hush?
So the new project I'm working on, I'm going back to like my old roots because like a lot of people were like, "Man, he's changed up his sound so much. Like I kind of miss like his old sound and like I kind of miss his old music and stuff." So it's kind of like a remembrance of what I used to be. And the project is actually named after my old stage name, which was The After Party. And the project is going to be about, change and evolving as a person and going through heartbreak and, almost dying, having near death experiences and stuff like that. And it's literally probably going to be my rawest project that I am going to put out for everybody. Like, I'm going to put my full self into this, and it's going to bring back some OG days when I very first started.
Is there a projected release date?
Uh, Possibly 2026, like maybe around spring, is best I could tell you, because it's still in the works.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And man, I just wanted the listeners and the viewers to kind of have a timeline. I know everything generally gets pushed back due to life, but at least it'll give them a timeline to keep up with you on social media, and
Mhm.
you'll drop little clips here and there and hints and stuff like that. And
Snippets, little bit of something. Yeah, I have a lot planned for this project. Like, I have like a couple of music videos, like I said, talking to a couple of videographers, um, trying to get the sound right, trying to get the story prepped up for recording and stuff like that. Like, I'm still in the middle of the writing process, and I have the album cover done, but right now it's the recording process that I'm working on right now.
well, considering you're so artistic and you made one video on your own, do you think it's going to be easy for you to give your music to a videographer and say, here, come up with a concept for a video? Or are you going to go to the videographer and say, here is the way I want the video to go? I just need you to shoot it? Because I know a lot of indie artists struggle with music videos. And a
Mhm.
lot of artists think they need to go to a videographer to make a music video, where indie artists that have been around for a long time who have made their own videos, they would much rather make their own videos and say, you know what, it's not great, but it's damn good.
Right.
And wouldn't have to pay anybody. I did it myself.
Right. Um, if I have like a nice, good relationship and a genuine connection with the videographer and the director and stuff like that, and we can bounce ideas back and forth, I feel like it would be very easy and stuff like that. Like, it just depends on connection, honestly. Cause if you're talking to somebody like, a producer, a videographer and stuff, and you're telling them like all your ideas, and it just kind of feels like they don't know how to they don't know how, that's kind of, you don't want to waste no time with that. You want to make sure like you have a relationship with this person. You want to make sure that they get you. You want to make sure that they got your ideas down, and writing everything down and making the video itself. And I feel like it just all depends on, the people that you talk to and the people that you truly connect with, because if you get with somebody that don't get you, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard to find somebody that's going to be there and be like, all right, we're going to do this and do that, and then it just comes out not the way that you wanted it. But when you have somebody that actually gets you and you have a genuine connection with the person, and you're trying to get your thoughts and your ideas out, and they get every single bit and they know how to picture it on camera, it will be very, very easy. It just all depends on the connection and the friendship and the partnership.
Do you have community in your area for your music or your style of music?
Um, Honestly, I feel like I'm like the only one in my town that does my type of music. I have never met anybody else in my town or in my local area that does the same stuff as me. So in a way, I'm glad, because like I guess you could call myself unique in a way, because like nobody else does what I do, and a lot of people don't really know, and that's what I that's what I have to say on that.
Well, does your area, does your town do summer festivals that has live
Mm.
music?
We have during the summertime, like we have Pride Fest and stuff. I was planning on wanting to perform for Pride. I was gonna perform for there's this place called Outhouse Records, and it was a record store, but in the back it's like a whole stage, and it costs about like I think it's like 200 to set up like a venue and stuff, and like they will they will cover everything for you. Shout out to Outhouse Records because like they're genuinely dope as fuck people, and like they will literally set it up the way you want it. If you want tables out for merch and stuff so people could grab and pay for it, or if it's free stuff, they'll put out tables. They'll do, the whole lights and the engineering for like the show itself and everything. Like they set up everything for you for a decent price.
So you could go into the store and tell them you want to put on a show, and they will set up everything for
That's what
that
I've
dollar
heard.
amount.
Yes.
And all you got to do is show up and perform.
Yeah, show up, perform. Basically, like, they will give you like, like they'll set up everything. They'll set up the date and time. You could go in before your show and stuff, so you could practice your set list and practice your songs that you want to show or perform and everything. And then they promote it. They promote all of it.
That's a pretty good deal. That is a pretty good deal. You're not getting that in Nashville.
Hmm.
Not for not for that dollar amount. You're not getting that.
Right.
Speaking of Nashville, do you think you could perform in Nashville?
Oh yeah, of
How
course. I actually have a lot of family in Nashville as well. And Nashville and a couple of other places around Tennessee and stuff like that. Most of the majority of my family and everything is like from Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. And a couple of other places, but yeah.
have you ever thought about performing in Nashville?
I haven't got the chance to like, really think on it and stuff like that. But if there was any like open venues and like, you know, come up with the budgeting and stuff like that, save up the money to do the trips and everything and, get my way down there and, find and, book a hotel and book shows and stuff like that where I could go around and, perform and stuff like that. I could definitely do that.
Well, I think you should look into it at some point. Maybe after the new project is released and I'm sorry, and you already have your merch and everything. I think once all that stress is behind you, I think you should look into expanding outside of your small community because
Definitely.
I feel like your music is there. You just need to get it out to more people. And I think if you use social media, YouTube, keep coming up with the video concepts and keep coming up with the shorts and posting. And I really think y'all look into the gaming thing with your music. Since you already kind of have a fan base for the gaming, bring them over and make them fans of the music.
Actually, a lot of people that were watching my live streams and stuff, they were asking like, "What else do I do?" and everything. And I told them I did music, and they have looked up my music and actually like really fucked with me with like music as well.
Well,
And
why don't you give
I
them?
thought that was actually really cool, like connecting with people that also game, but also really dig what I'm also doing behind the scenes and with my music.
Well, you definitely should combine those two things and give your fans on that side a hard introduction to
Oh
your
yeah, most
music.
definitely. Most
And I,
definitely.
I
I will
think that
definitely do that.
you're definitely going to pick up more fans and more subscribers if you've already got a fan base in the gaming community. Once they hear your music, man, they're going to jump all over. That's
Mm,
my opinion as a concern.
right.
What are the easiest emotions for you to write about?
Probably the sadness. Like it's just quick, it's simple, it's easy. Like everybody loves a heartbreak song, like if somebody got into a bad situation with a female or a bad situation with a family member or like they've been through a lot, maybe drug addiction, like how I went through drug addiction and stuff like that and almost died from it. And getting out of that situation and then making songs about it and like, hey, I'm still here and this could have been me. And I made songs about, like, I made a whole project called Oblivion, and it was about me overdosing, and it was literally about like if I died. And and people really did enjoy it. They said it was like one of their favorite projects that I've ever came up with, and it was just raw, it was real, and it was complex, but it was simple in a way to like create, because like I was going through a lot of shit with a female at the time, relationship fucking me over, cheating on me, some other guy in the picture and stuff, me getting down in the dumps, being around the wrong people, the wrong crowd, getting into shit and almost dying is literally like the main plots of that whole project. And I created that so people could be aware, like, hey, like if you don't get yourself out of a bad situation, this could be you. Some relatable, something to make people think about, like, man, if I keep on going down this fucking hole, this rabbit hole, or try to, I'm not going to be able to climb out with the tallest ladder because how deep the hole is.
Is there anything holding you back in music?
I don't know, really. Just the budgeting. Like it's really hard, like, trying to find, the money to afford trips and travel and experience new things and experiencing new places and stuff. That's like literally the only thing that's stopping me really is the budgeting of everything.
So, are there any hurdles in music that you need to overcome?
Probably my fear of releasing. Cause like there's like sometimes where I feel like this song ain't good enough. I don't feel like people would understand it, or I feel like people wouldn't like it, and it just stays there. And it just never gets released. Like I have maybe 300 unreleased tracks right now as we
That are
speak
complete. That are complete.
that are complete, yes. And that's holding me back because, like, I'm not afraid to get judged. I'm not afraid for people to talk shit or not like me. It's just like I want it to be authentic, and I want it to be I want it to be special. I want every track and every listen to be a special moment for somebody. Like whatever they're
Well,
going through or whatever, in general, particularly.
how are you going to know if it speaks to someone if you don't release it?
That too, yeah.
And
Because like
you've
a
all
part of me is like, I
you've
should release.
already you've put the time and the effort into the song
Mhm.
and just put it on a shelf. So why don't you, again, this is just me thinking, why
Right.
don't you have something along the lines of New Music Monday or New Song Thursday and
New
just give
album
somebody
Friday.
a short of one of those songs that is complete and just say, "Hey, comment below. What do you think?" You're
Or
not
if
giving
this
them the
gets like 50
just
likes
give
or
'em
100 likes, I will release it.
okay, well, I mean, it's already there, so why not do
Mhm.
that?
Like a little snippet and just be like, "Hey, like if you guys genuinely like this song and if you want the full version, give me 50 likes and, comment your opinions and stuff and the more views, the more likely it will be released."
There you go. Why not? Just something to do,
Real.
something new, something extra, something for
Mhm.
your fans to look forward to.
Something to feed
You're
the
doing
fans.
yeah, you're doing something different that a lot of people aren't doing, and
Right.
it'll get you over that fear of release because you're
Yeah.
not releasing the song, you're just releasing a snippet.
That's what I was also talking to my friend about. Shout out to Kilo 11K. My buddy Kilo, he makes bangers after bangers of just music, and it's just stuck in a vault. And he's been working on music for 2 years, and he's been telling me he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna release soon. I'm gonna release something," and I'm just like, "Where is it?" Like you have 300 plus songs. You got a couple of collaborators, including myself, that are on these tracks that have been waiting for years for for them to see daylight. So like I don't know, I'm kind of like going through the same thing, I guess. I don't know. It's just like I guess it's just the I guess the fear of releasing something that's not good, I guess.
Well, why don't you challenge him to release as well? So if you release
If he's watching this by the time that this video comes out and stuff like that, I challenge him to release an album a year at like any point in time. I want him to release all the good music that he has showed me. Like I'm like one of the very first people that he will come up to. Like he's like one of my closest music friends. And like we also done live streams together and stuff in the past as well. And I've been begging him to release some of these awesome ass tracks that just need to be heard. Like he's a genuine soul when it comes to music, and him holding himself back is a problem. Like he really needs to get out there more and needs to do what I'm trying to do. But
well,
like I love him to death.
you're doing the same thing that he's so to get over your fear,
We
you're
should
just
definitely I need to get a hold of him. I need to talk to him and be like, yo, if you release, I'll release. Or if I release, you should release.
y'all gonna have to shake on. You're gonna have online. You're gonna have to shake on.
Yeah. Because he lives out all the way in Pennsylvania, so I can't really get to see him that often and stuff like that. But like he a good artist. Like he is really one of those artists that just needs to post. Like he posts less than I do. Like I am the one that's always creating an album and publishing. Like I created maybe two projects this year and I published them. And Moonchild 2 was probably the longest project I ever did, and it has on SoundCloud, there's 29 tracks, but on YouTube, I'm about to release it on YouTube on the 2-year anniversary of Moonchild 1, which is December 4th. I'm going to be releasing a deluxe, and it's going to have like 32 to 34 tracks.
Good gosh.
Yeah.
That's a lot of music.
Yeah.
So, does your fan base know about this before you just mentioned it?
Yeah, I just released Moonchild 2 on my SoundCloud, and there's a couple of songs on there that are getting a lot of attraction and a lot of feedback and stuff, including like my crew enjoying it and like, Venue. I've been shouting it out to Venue because every time that they go live and stuff, I'll submit a song and they'll be like, "Oh, this is a new one of I actually recorded their reaction. It was like one of the very first reactions I've ever had with my music and stuff like that. And I submitted a song called Hurtin' Inside by me,
and I saw their reaction and like the comments, like people are like, wow, this is a majestic ass song. Uh MJ vibes, like who is this guy? And like and they were, just showing off the music and like genuine reactions, like very heartwarming reactions. Like I love Venue, and Venue, I will always be a part of Venue.
So you're getting that kind of reaction from Venue, which
Yes.
is full of indie artists
Hmm.
who are into music, obviously. What about all the people out here that aren't a part of Venue music, that aren't artists? Why
I
don't you
get a
release
little
those?
bit I get a little bit of attraction, like, outside of, like, the other musicians and other people and stuff, but it's not as much as, like, the people that also make music and stuff like that. But, like, I feel like it will get there eventually and stuff like that. Like, it might take a little bit, but I feel like I would genuinely get there eventually and stuff and get people outside of, like, the music community in my community. I feel like there will be more. There will be more people soon.
Okay. All right. Well, we're kind of up against the clock for this interview, and I've
Mhm.
really enjoyed it. And
No
I've
doubt.
found out a lot more about you. But I have one question, maybe two questions that
Of
I
course.
always ask artists at the end of the show. And it is, what are two questions you've never been asked in an interview that you would like to be asked? And what are the answers to those questions?
Um, One off the top of my head I have never been asked was, do I have a favorite song of myself? And I actually do. And it's
Oh,
probably one of my favorite songs I've ever created, and it's stuck in my head to this day, is probably Hurtin' Inside, the one I showed Venue music and stuff. That was like my pride and joy. Like I worked hard on that track and to give it the aesthetic of like an 80s synth pop song. And you can also find it on YouTube and stuff as well.
all right.
And then the other question is, if I had a chance to perform with a famous artist, was another question I've never been asked to and stuff like that. And honestly, my honest opinion, I feel like performing a song, or it could be like a collaboration and like doing like a
Mm.
live performance with a famous person. I feel like Gunner. Gunner would be my first answer for that question ever asked.
All right. Well, where can fans find out more about you? Or basically all your social media handles one more time.
So on Facebook, you could find my Facebook fan page, which is Parties Unknown. It's spelled the exact same way, Prtynknxwn. You can also follow me on Instagram at Parties Unknown, which is spelled the exact same way. And you could find me on YouTube, which is Parties Unknown, and SoundCloud, which is Parties Unknown, spelled the exact same way. And also, if you go into the link in my bio of my Instagram, you could also find those so much easier.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of episode one with Artists Unknown. Hopefully, there'll be a episode two
Of course.
in the near future. But if you'd like to find out more about Parties Unknown, subscribe to him. If there are any questions you would like me to ask him next time we sit down in an interview, if you'll comment below. If you enjoyed this conversation, comment below. If you didn't enjoy this conversation, comment below and let me know why. And until next time, we'll see you on Two Beers with the Band. Cheers.
Here's on that, brother. Thank you for having me. It was an honor.
Mom and dad are arguing, it feels like love's a threat. The trauma and the memories, the pain up in my chest. I got all this anxiety, I can never get rest. The only time I will find peace is when I'm fucking dead.